Stop number 4 in this 5-game road trip lands the Warriors in Cleveland, Ohio to take on the undefeated Cleveland Cavaliers, and it is the home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. However, the Cavaliers are making their presence felt by playing some damn good basketball, and the Warriors will want to avenge 2 losses from a season ago, which they suffered blowout losses in the span of 6 days, but they're playing some really good basketball, and we'll dive into it here on Warriors Pregame Live, presented by Comcast Business with the Hall of Famer Chris Mullin, NBA champion Festus Ezeli. I am Bonte Hill, and what a statement the Warriors made Wednesday night. They want to make another one tonight against the Cavs.
Well, when you're on the road and you're considered the road Warriors, why not, Bonte? You're going against the #1 offense in the NBA, the Cleveland Cavaliers, after facing the #1 defense with the Boston Celtics. So right now, the Warriors are trying to move upwards, keep trending upwards, which is the goal right now.
And they are 7-1, and they've won 5 straight games, but somebody's old Mullin has got to go tonight.
Something's got to give, Bonte and Festus. The Warriors are 5-0 early in the season here on the old. The Cleveland Cavaliers off to a franchise best 9-0. We're going to find out what's going to go down tonight in Cleveland.
Oh, and it's a Fast Talk Friday, folks. Does it win tonight? Mullin make the Dubs title contenders? Find out on the other side here on Warriors Pregame Live. Welcome back to Warriors Pregame Live, presented by Comcast Business. And no warm-up necessary for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They've come out of the blocks winning 9 straight games, setting a franchise record for most wins to start the season. They are 9-0. And you see that 24 right there. Fezzi knows all about that one. A 24-0 start that ended in Milwaukee on the back end of a back-to-back. But the Cavaliers, there's no doubt, they're playing some good basketball, and we're excited for this one as the Warriors go through this 3-game gauntlet again, entering the Boston game. Their next 3 opponents were a combined 22-1. They beat the Celtics Wednesday night. We'll see if we could beat the Cavs, if they'll beat the Cavs tonight, and, of course, OKC on Sunday. But starting with the Cavaliers playing some really good basketball here, the Warriors are playing some good ball as well, and this is a good barometer for the Golden State Warriors again here Friday night.
Well, this whole week, Bonte, has been a good barometer for the Warriors. There's a lot of conversation about the Warriors, not the competition at the start of the season, not being worthy of calling the Warriors contenders. Well, if this week is not it, I don't know what will be, because you got the Boston Celtics, top 3 in offense and defense. Tonight, you have the Cavaliers, and I'm looking at these numbers, Bonte. These numbers are crazy. Field goal percentage first in the league, 3-point percentage second in the league, offensive rating first in the league, even the bench point 7th in the league. So this team is for real, and led by this guy right here, Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell. Both guards are going to test you. And different from the Boston Celtics, you have 2 bigs in the paint that you really have to box out, because they're gonna protect the paint on one end and dunk on your head on the other end.
Yeah, much like the Celtics last game, the Celtics were #1 in scoring. Now the Cleveland Cavaliers are, because the Warriors shut them down. They held the Celtics 112. So the Cavs average 123. They do it a different way, though. As you mentioned, Bonte, they go inside out. Really important tonight to make sure you get Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen out of the paint, first and foremost in transition, so they don't get deep catches for layups. And then you can play and live with the contested mid-range jump shots with them. But #1 thing that the Warriors have done much better this year, was going to be tested again tonight, is your perimeter on-ball defense, keeping Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell out of the paint and out of straight-line drives.
And then don't forget about LeVert off the bench. He is instant offense. The Warriors saw a lot of that last season in the 2 losses to the Cleveland Cavaliers. So somebody's has got to go tonight. We'll get to the odds a little bit later here. But the Warriors Wednesday night, as we mentioned, upset the Boston Celtics at TD Garden. It was a phenomenal basketball game. They withstood the barrage by the Boston Celtics in the 3rd quarter, getting outscored 41-31. But down the stretch, the Warriors made all the right plays. Key offensive rebounds by Kevon Looney. Good. Here's one of them right here with one of his 6 offensive rebounds Wednesday night. He leads the league in total offensive rebounds with 34. Then Stephen Curry.
Loom.
Look at that.
What you call him?
Clean up the glass. Windex, because all he does is clean up the glass.
Kevon Looney is the pro's pro. He comes in the game, and it doesn't matter if he's starting, he's coming off the bench. It doesn't matter if he plays big minutes, plays little minutes. You just see his game just continue to evolve. I love the fact that he's starting to hit those short jumpers now, right? That's a part of the offense that's kind of starting to develop. But offensive rebounds has always been a part of his game. Mr. Double-Double. I mean, didn't we run off a game like a couple of years ago when Kevon Looney had 10 rebounds, multiple games in a row? A guy who's undersized doing this in the NBA, I mean, you can say a lot about his leadership and his heart, but those were really huge buckets for Kevon Looney at the end of the game.
2 of the biggest plays of the game, because the Celtics were trying to make a comeback. They got the stops, but Kevon Looney got those offensive rebounds. He got the putback, and then we saw the drive on Steph, kick out to Bonte Hill for the dagger 3. But again, great spacing. Looney not anticipating that the shots are going in the right place at the right time. The ultimate pro. But again, tonight with this Cleveland Cavaliers team, I think they've got a much better balanced attack. You know, we knew going into the Celtic game they were going to take 53s at least, right? Tonight, the Cavaliers shoot 42% from three, but they only take, what, about
35,
so they're going to make 14 to 15 per game. So they're going to go inside first, try and loosen up the outside. And tonight, with the Warriors, been doing a great job taking care of the basketball. On the road, you don't want to turn the ball over. You don't want Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell out in the open floor.
Yeah, 15 to 36, I should say, for the Cleveland Cavaliers. As you
Good
mentioned,
numbers.
Willie, 42% from the three-point line. But the Warriors are doing their thing from the three-point line. And was Wednesday night's game a statement win? Well, let's hear from Bonte Hill. He'll let you know.
Well, what do you think? I mean, it's just a statement. If we don't win this game, everybody's like, oh, they didn't play nobody. You know, so you got to come make a statement, right? And on the road, so, you know, that's how the basketball world talks. You know, they say we haven't played nobody yet, so we battle tested and we got to see if it's real.
All right, Buddy Buckets with a solid night off the bench. We'll get to him in a little bit here. But look at the crunch time stats against the Boston Celtics. Again, on this road trip, 2 of the games coming down to the wire. They show great resiliency against the Houston Rockets. They do it again against the Celtics, outscoring them 25-9, 8-12 from the floor. Just attempted 5 3-pointers, but they made 2 of them, including a dagger from Bonte Hill. And look at that offensive rating. Making all the right plays here. So let's go to the great KB, Karen Burke, and of course the pride of Yale dedicated courtesy of Comcast Business. Every connection counts. And how about those numbers down the stretch, KB? A new roster, learning how to win tight games.
Yeah, well, Zena brought up this topic when we were talking earlier. Like, what made this such a good matchup for the Golden State Warriors? And what I saw was shooters willing to compete with what the Celtics want to do from 3, rebounders to prevent second chances, but then actually the depth to play hard on both sides of the ball, knowing that somebody else can come in and check in for you so you can get a little bit of a break. But let me turn it over to you. What does your analytical mind say about why this is such a good matchup?
For sure. When you look at what happened in the 2022 finals and you look at the game the other night, there's something that's a through line. It's defense. Back in 2022, of course, Andrew Wiggins was the constant, still putting the clamps down on the wing. But also, back then, you had 4 players that had been in championship contender situations: Steph, Clay, Draymond, Kevon, all well aware of how to play defense without having to tire themselves. So you see a little bit of like a zone man helping each other out versus this recent game, a lot of youth, athletic ability, keeping players in front of them. So that man-to-man defense was huge. Defense overall is something that Celtics have always struggled with. With the Warriors, it's just 2 different versions now, a little bit more youth, a little bit more movement in this recent version of the Warriors. This is going to be huge against the Cavaliers. Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell are killing it in the backcourt. They're able to involve their own teammates. They're creating their own shots. If the Warriors can keep these 2 guards in front of them, that will allow the back line of defense to be able to do what they need to do with Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen and not have to worry about making up for any guards getting past them in the perimeter.
Okay, so defense, the through line. I think defense also comes with experience. When you step into the Garden, which is a tough place to play, when they were coming for Steve Kerr, when you know they're going to come from Draymond Green, they don't get rattled by that, the Warriors do. But you can also sense some accountability with this team early as well. Even when you guys hear Steph Curry saying that Steve Kerr lit into him for one of his turnovers, and Steph mentioning, I didn't make a turnover after that, but Steph saying he wants to be coached like everybody else. If Steph has that kind of attitude, that is the attitude of everybody in the locker room. And I think there's several reasons, even emotional reasons, why the team has had such a good start to the season. That's
a great point, KB and Zena. And of course, the turnovers have been down for the Warriors this season, something we'll touch on a little bit later. But let's focus in on this backcourt battle. Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell, they are cooking right now. Wait till you see their numbers coming up.
Right here.
No doubt. How do the Dubs contain Spider Mitchell and Darius Garland? We'll try to figure it out for Steve Kerr here on Warriors Pregame Live. Plus, an injury update. Who's in? Who's out? Green and D'Anthony Melton, who's missed the last 5 games for the Warriors. They are available tonight against Cleveland. Pods, Brady Pajitsky, still questionable. Remember, he got ill right after, or early in the third quarter, I should say, in the nation's capital against the Wizards. Didn't play against Boston, so we hope Pods is okay. But he is 50-50 to go tonight. But let's focus on D'Anthony Melton, who's on a 1-year, $12 million deal. Look, he missed a lot of games last year for the Philadelphia 76ers. Missed 44 regular season games and just played in 1 postseason game due to the back injury. Warriors taking a cautious approach with Anthony Melton, but it is good news, Mullin, that he's available tonight at guard, who could also press up on Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell and really press them in the half court.
No, he looks like the perfect fit next to Steph Curry. He can guard the opposing team's bigger guard or small forward. He's a great defender. He's got nice size, nice strength. And, you know, Paz is questionable with that second unit. He's a nice fit next to Paz, another big two-guard that can handle the stronger defensive responsibility. And he's a good knockdown three-point shooter. He's got a great feel. Just another really good veteran that really seems to fit this style of play, both offensively and defensively.
All the conversations about the roster makeup this season was just got a bunch of smart basketball players with high IQ, and DeAnthony Melton is one of them. A guy that can fit in as an off guard, a guy that can play without the ball, or a guy that can play with the ball and get Steph Curry off the ball. So just a perfect fit for this Warriors team, and a leader, veteran. He's definitely battle-tested in this league with his time with the Philadelphia 76ers. So good to have him back. And this is a good test. You never want to come back from an injury your first game and go against a guy like Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell, because you know they're going to make you test that knee or back or whatever it is you're dealing with. But this is a guy defensively that can give those guys problems.
Don't want to sleep on his offense. This guy's a lifetime 37% three-point shooter. So another shooter to bring on the floor as well against the Cleveland defense that's been leaky at times this season.
Well, you know, Kyle Anderson was shooting 3 threes back to back to back, so he came back and said, I want some of that action. DeAnthony Melton is a guy in the flow of the offense, definitely a guy that can get shots up, but also a great passer, great playmaker. In transition, you've seen a lot of kick-ups from DeAnthony Melton getting to Jonathan Kuminga. I love his chemistry with JK. So that's a part of the game as well you get to see tonight is JK's activation.
And he's, you know, you mentioned his IQ. These guys who 5, 6, 7 years in the league, they understand what their strengths are. They want to try and play their strengths each and every game. Melton, I think his three-point shooting, he's very comfortable as a catch-and-shoot play, which is really important because there's going to be a lot of attention to Steph, and he's going to get some open looks. He's very comfortable with that standstill three-point shot.
Now, Brandon Podziemski just got alert that he is available tonight after missing the Boston game. So another ball handler for the Warriors against these guards here of the Cleveland Cavaliers and more depth on his team, of course.
No question. Pods can come off the bench and really pick up the pace of the offense. Like you said, Bonte, another ball handler. He's coming off a great game in Houston. He was dynamic in that fourth quarter, so he's really starting to find his stride.
Pods is as tough as they come, Bonte, and him being available is only good for the Warriors. But, you know, if I'm Steve Kerr, I'm back to try to figure out who I'm going to play tonight because now you have all the 13 guys available. But Pods definitely makes it hard to try to figure out, you know, makes Steve Kerr play him because of his defensive ability. He's this comeback this season really focused, locked in, being able to guard guys. Obviously charges. Mully, don't kill me. He loves taking those charges. That's one of his advantages for the team. But he's always going to put his face in the middle of the action, which is
literally.
Jesus. He's always going to put his face, you know, and be physical, and that's what you love Pods for.
And Steve Kerr's rotation just went from 11 to 13.
No doubt. Run right on the offensive, man. Let's hear from Steve Kerr on his former assistant Kenny Atkinson squad.
I mean, it's a two-way team, and you know they've been together for a few years, so continuity was already there, the talent, and obviously, you know, they were pretty damn good last year. So I think you know all of these jobs are different, and you know this was a great job to get, just like mine was 10 years ago, you know, coming into a team that was already talented, already a playoff team, and then now you're just tweaking things and seeing where you can get better on the margins rather than trying to, you know, grow something organically that's you know, that's more difficult to do. So it's a perfect spot, and Kenny has taken advantage, and the team is doing great, and yeah, it looks like a good fit.
Well, let's get into this backcourt of the Cleveland Cavaliers. A dynamic backcourt. Of course, Donovan Mitchell began his career with the Utah Jazz, and we learned a lot about him. A clutch playoff performer, could get to any spot on the floor. This kid once scored 71 points in a basketball game here in the NBA, and right now he's picked up where he left off. He's a dynamic player, Mully, making over 3 threes a game, shooting nearly 40% from the three-point line. He's having a dynamic start to the season.
No question. You see his numbers there, putting up big numbers with great efficiency. First thing about Donovan Mitchell to me, Festus and Bonte, he plays much bigger. He's only about 6'2". You would think he's about 6'6" or 6'7", the way he finishes around the rim. Got a really good feel for the game. He's a big-time clutch shot maker. And really a nice compliment with Darius Garland.
All that. And the way you know a guy plays bigger is the way he plays when he gets into the paint. Donovan Mitchell is the second most free throw attempts on this team. And he just loves the smoke. He always wants to get in there into the paint, wants that action. So you got to make sure you defend without fouling Donovan Mitchell. So it's going to be tough. Three-point shooter, he's shooting 50% from the three-point line. So you got to be up on him. He's going to drive by you and try to get to the free throw line. So you got to defend and guard the drive without fouling. And he's also averaging 4 assists a game. So these are all parts of the game where he's continued to get better, and he's leading this team right now to a 9-0 start.
And Mullin, he's an old-school guard. He doesn't shy away from the mid-range. His percentages from inside the paint are through the roof right now.
Well, it reflects the Cavaliers as a team. Kenny Atkinson has stressed balance of attack. You know, he was here with Steve Kerr, and the Warriors have been known for three-point shooting. But, you know, when they're really successful, yes, they're making threes, but they're getting fast break points. They're getting to the free throw line, and they're making mid-range shots. So that balance of attack, that 42% that the Cavs shoot from three, because they're getting high-quality shots and not just going out there with the mindset of let's get 50 shots up. Let's create high-quality shots so we're a good percentage shooting team.
And then the son of Winston Garland, Darius Garland right now. He is balling 47% from three, and he's a speedster, Fezzi. At the point of attack, he will blow by anybody in this league.
Vanderbilt legend. We can claim him, Bonte.
Absolutely.
And he is as shifty as they come, has the ball on a string, so you definitely got to be down in the stance, ready to guard Darius the whole possession. You see him right there with all the tricks and everything up his sleeves. Got a mean, crazy floater when he gets into the paint. He's just a nasty guard that you're gonna definitely have to bring your hard hat when you're going against him. 6.8 assists, gets his teammates open and gets his teammates going as well.
And Bonte, you mentioned his speed. He's a blow-by guard. But when you got that type of speed and you're shooting 52% from the field and 47 from three, you're much quicker than you actually are because you cannot leave this guy open. So those efficiency numbers for both Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell make them even more dangerous with their speed, and their attack, their ability to attack the paint gets even greater.
Feels like a game we may see Gary Payton II start to try to slow these guards down, either Garland or Donovan Mitchell, and then bringing back DeAnthony Melton. Those are two guys who at the point of attack can defend with the best of them. So sounds like a GP2 night, Fezzi.
Well, these guys are great offensively. So the starting lineup is Steve Kerr can go with the defensive lineup, which is GP2 starting, Andrew Wiggins right there, or you can have Moses Moody, who is also a shooter, but he also could guard as well. So it's a blessing for the Warriors to have all these array of weapons that you can use interchangeably, whether starting or coming off the bench.
So did we just get Coach Bonte's projected starting lineup?
Wow, yeah.
Monday night he started GP2 to slow down. Jordan Poole, 94 feet. JP shot 2 of 9 for the three-point line. I'm just trying to read Steve Kerr's mind.
Making adjustments.
We've been following this guy for over a decade.
So 8 games in, now you can read his mind.
Hey, defensive mindset,
so
right?
You're of the mindset, I'm going to play 13 guys. It does not matter who I start.
Oh, I don't care who starts.
Thank you, Bonte.
It does not matter whatsoever, young kids, as long as you get minutes and playing hard. You know I'm about that. Like, first 5, and then whoever else comes off the bench. Could be another JK night as well, but I have a feeling, just with these small guards that are dominating right now, why not get GP2 in there to just be an irritant early on in this basketball game?
Yeah, I love the way GP2 looks healthy. That, for one, is a big thing for the Warriors. So when he's healthy, he comes into the game, and he can change the whole momentum of the game just with defense alone. Because, you know, his defense can turn into instant offense. He gets steals, and he has wide-open layups. That's one. His chemistry with Steph has been incredible. His ability to get the screening rolls and get wide-open dunks or layups. I saw GP2 dunk on a 7-footer last game. That was my Vanderbilt brother as well, you know, Luke Cornett. I didn't like to see that, but I also love to see that because I claim GP as a big man. GP has really been playing well to start the season. His energy, the vibes of the team, you could just feel it, even in our last interview.
Now, what you say, Bonte, makes perfect sense.
Giannis Antetokounmpo to the Knicks? Let's talk about what this means for New York basketball fans. With the Bucks struggling early in the season, despite Giannis and Dame Lillard joining forces, questions have started swirling about Giannis's future in Milwaukee. Some analysts, like Stephen A. Smith, are starting to speculate if New York might be a real landing spot for the Greek Freak. Imagine Giannis bringing his elite defense and unstoppable offense to Madison Square Garden. Adding him to a team with the Knicks' current talent could make them a powerhouse in the Eastern Conference and a serious title contender. The Knicks organization has already shown their dedication to building a winning team, and acquiring a superstar like Giannis could be the final piece to bring the championship back to New York. A pairing of Giannis with other emerging Knicks stars would make for an incredible combination of talent, athleticism, and New York grit. What do you think? Could Giannis in New York lead the Knicks to a long-awaited NBA title? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Hoopzone Sport News for all the latest on the Knicks and NBA superstars.
Welcome back to Hoopzone Sport News. Today we're diving deep into the drama surrounding Joel Embiid and the NBA's decision to suspend him for 3 games without pay. Here's what happened. After the Sixers' recent loss to the Grizzlies, Embiid found himself in hot water following a confrontation with Marcus Hayes, a longtime Philadelphia Inquirer columnist. Hayes' article touched on Embiid's missed games, tying his absences to personal references, including his late brother and his son, which clearly struck a nerve for the Sixers superstar. The NBA acted quickly, suspending Embiid for 3 games, starting with tonight's matchup against the Clippers. Now, opinions are swirling across the sports world about whether this was a fair punishment. Stephen A. Smith and other prominent analysts weighed in, agreeing that while Embiid's frustration was understandable given the sensitive nature of the comments, physical contact with a member of the media crosses a line in the league's eyes. Although Embiid didn't throw a punch, he did place his hands on the reporter's shoulders, reportedly in a heated moment. The NBA's message is clear. No matter how intense emotions get, the league has zero tolerance for players physically confronting the press. Now let's talk about the impact this suspension could have on the Sixers. Embiid is the backbone of Philly's offense and a fan favorite in a city that takes its basketball seriously. His absence in these next 3 games will undoubtedly test the depth and resilience of the team, and it raises questions about how Philly will handle the pressure without their MVP on the court. With the Sixers pushing hard this season and fans packing the arena every night, they'll need to step up big to avoid losing their momentum in the standings. Many analysts are also highlighting the tension between players and the media, especially when coverage goes beyond the court and into personal territory. Columnists have the right to voice strong opinions, but was Hayes' article out of bounds? Stephen A. Smith argued that while criticism is part of the job, bringing up Embiid's family might have crossed a line, particularly given the sensitive background of his brother's passing. At the same time, the responsibility lies on players to maintain control no matter how personal the criticism feels. So what does this mean for Embiid and the Sixers going forward? This season has seen high expectations for Philadelphia, and Embiid is under pressure to prove himself as a leader. He's already missed a significant portion of games in his career, which Hayes' article pointed out, questioning Embiid's commitment to consistently being on the court. Philly fans, what are your thoughts? Was the NBA's punishment fair? And do you think the reporter's comments went too far? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And if you're enjoying our content, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more NBA updates right here on Hoopzone Sport News.